We'll gaffer through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, and deservedly so.
Yeah, definitely deservedly so. I thought we were good value for that win tonight. Some excellent football, really fluid, moved the ball well, gave them a problem creating many chances through either our possession play or our pressing, and we should have been well out of sight, I think.
We often talk about being the hardest team, the hardest work rate, and Demarai Gray's attitude is instrumental in the opening goal.
Oh, definitely. I think it was a great example of, for any player, if you do lose possession of the ball, to immediately react to that. Don't think too much about it, and off he went, and it just shows you what can happen, because it's a poor pass and then he nips in and gets an assist and a goal. So great example. And it wasn't just that. There was one example where Demarai's tracked back 70 yards, and I always say to the attacking players, you'll get the biggest roar for scoring a goal, but the second biggest roar you'll get from the fans is they see that you are working hard, and that was inspirational to see that type of work ethic.
You can count to any number of chances that we've created off the back of that goal. Is the concern if you don't take them, you leave the back door open? Yeah,
always. Against quality teams, we saw that even last season. If it's 1-0, there's always a chance, but they didn't create chances. They didn't have those moments. What they did have was a goal that shouldn't have been a goal, and unfortunately that completely swung the game to a 1-1, and I couldn't believe it actually. But we did recoup, had a little break to speak to the players and try to move on from that, and I thought the reaction was fantastic.
On the goal, have you had any justification? Have your coaches got your head around what possibly could have influenced the referee's decision not to put his mouth to his whistle?
No, I just think it's a decision that shouldn't be, really. I just think the rule is, if it hits the referee and they score, then it's a disallowed goal. Now what's happened there is he scored straight away. He's literally hit it from 60 yards into the goal, and there might be a case that they've said, but you've got possession back with Jay around the ball, but that's not possession back. Jay didn't have possession back. He was fighting for possession, but we didn't have possession back. Therefore, we haven't got possession back, therefore it's a disallowed goal. So I was really upset about it, but thankfully it hasn't actually affected the outcome. But especially after Friday, where I felt a little bit miffed with that penalty, and then this one, you think, okay, but what you can do is control what you can do, which is your performance, and we reacted really well, finished strong and got a goal. Yeah,
you mentioned that reaction. How important was it then? Because you're cruising to victory, then you get pegged back with a controversial goal, but the players really seem to just reset themselves and kick on again.
Yeah, I think from our point of view, it's done then, and you've got to recoup, and we stayed aggressive, we stayed pushing for the goal, and the actual final goal we scored, the winner, was a really good team goal. A couple of different crosses into the box, but by the end of it, set back, and Jay, real clever bit of skill just to turn and then fire it through.
And you want your strikers scoring goals in the first couple of games. That's a couple of strikers up and running.
Yeah, exactly. Kogo's got his goal tonight. You see from the ovation he gets when he comes off. He's relentless. And then Jay, we know Jay. Jay's a goal scorer.
Does it feature in your thinking that you've had to wait just a second game, and now we're up and running with that first win of the season, just to get it under your belt?
Yeah, I mean, it's last season was the same. We had 1-1 Reading, and then went to Charlton. We won 1-0 in that game. So yeah, look, I think we know what it's like. It's going to be really hard this season. Sheffield United were in the player final last year. We're not talking about a League One or a League Two team. We're talking about a team that was 20 minutes from the Premier League. So to beat a team like that is a big test, a big challenge, and we did it tonight.
Looking ahead to the weekend's trip back to league action and a trip to Blackburn with the support of 7,500 travelling fans, it's going to be quite an incredible away end.
Yeah, well, we've had a few games like that. I can remember them very well. Away games last season, since I've been here, where the fans have been in there, and we're going to need them. We've got 2 days to recover. Blackburn, strong Championship team, especially at home, big test for us, and we need all 7,000 of those to be with us.
Congratulations tonight, Gav.
Thank you. Cheers.